Alright, welcome back everybody to episode 4.5, or 4A. Not quite 5. This is more of a loosey-goosey, brainstormy episode, not going to be what you're used to, of course, but should be interesting nonetheless.
Yes. So it should, entitled episode 4.5, 5, not quite, god damn it, episode 4.5, in parentheses, not quite 5. Not quite episode 5.
Yeah, there we go.
What's episode 4? Revenge of the Sith, right? No.
I believe so.
4 is A New Hope.
I think it's when they bullied the
4
Sith.
is A New Hope.
For a while.
Episode 4 is... Duh.
Yeah.
I'm fucking idiot. Yeah, episode 4, not quite Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, we're in the middle.
Somewhere in the midst.
Alright. Again, the name of the show is Council of the Neon Lordz with a Z.
With a Z.
Oh yeah. And so today we're going to be pulling apart and thinking about an idea we had for one of the 3 core modules of the book, the Blood Pit of Neo-Turax, or the Mausoleum of Carnage, or whatever the hell else we feel like naming it.
So I'm gonna Google Blood Pit and get some inspiration.
Okay, you're gonna see some pretty disturbing things, no doubt. Please do not Google that at home, kids. Yeah, no doubt, dude. Come on.
It's not that bad. I did Blood Pit images.
Okay, Blood Pit images. .bestgore.com.
Oh, don't do that. So there is a Blood Pit. The game of gladiatorial combat is bloodpit.net.
That's really interesting. What is that? Because there is a huge gladiator theme in the initial inspiration for Blood Pit. Like that was the whole. What is it built on? Was a gladiator match.
Interesting. And then you have a run for your lives, when it's like a Tough Mudder, or like, what's that stupid ones where you run through obstacles and shit. This one's got zombie themed. And one of the obstacles is a giant inflatable water slide that goes into a blood pit. That would be... That's right up our alley.
That's cute. I like it.
Yeah, we should. I feel like we should incorporate a blood slide to a literal blood pit.
That is. Is that the entrance? No. That's funny. Maybe a blood waterfall. Like that's fucking cool. Like it's coming out of the skull's mouth or something.
Yeah, I'll write blood waterfall and see where it goes, and then I'll write skull's mouth. You gotta have the C at the end of skull.
Right. Okay, so where do I even start with this? Of course, the inspiration for Blood Pit was me mistakenly thinking that the theme of this podcast was going to be the same as all the previous episodes of my show, Dare You Enter the Goblin Cave. So what I had done was read up on the history of Neo-Turax, and I read the module, and I just said, I'm going to create a little world inside of your world, and then I'm going to write a story about it and then present it on the show.
Yeah.
Now, we never really got around to that.
No. No, never really did. That's funny because I was on another show and they have like a signature thing, and I never did that signature thing either.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good.
They're like, well, you have to, and I was like, I don't know how to do it. So they're like, all right, well, we're gonna do it. Like I ran a game for them on the 26th of December, and they forgot about it by then because they're like, well, when you do the game with us, you'll do it now. I was like, sure, and then they forgot about it.
Not bad. It's a good way out.
That's not like I try to get out of things. It's just like I'm not really good at like on the spot. That's my problem too. Like I know yours wasn't really on the spot, but like I thought the Mad Libs kind of fit with the like the 80s, 90s that like we're portraying.
Oh yeah, no, that was fucking funny, dude.
Yeah, so that was fine, but theirs is on the spot. And they're like, yeah, you have to be a character in your game and tell us a confession. I'm like, what? don't fucking know. Like, that's not me, man. I don't know how to do that shit.
Interesting.
So I'm sure it'll catch up to me, and I'll have to eventually do it, but as of right now, I have not done it.
All right. Well, so anyways, I've been sitting on this idea, is burning a hole in the back of my head.
Nice.
I sent it to you. You said you quite enjoyed reading it.
Yeah, it was quite enjoyable.
And it just sort of morphed into now we're going to turn it into an adventure for all the good people who bought this game.
Mm-hmm. It'll be in the back of the book forever until we do a second edition and probably change out the adventures, I would think.
Yeah, probably. Who knows?
Yeah.
What I will do for you good listeners right now is in post I will read out this story and clip it onto the end of this episode. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna kind of brainstorm with Brian here, and we're just gonna freestyle. We're gonna think about my notes for this game, or for this module, and we're just gonna see what sticks, see what doesn't.
Yep. And you're along for the ride, brave adventurers.
Yeah. So, all right. I was kind of we were talking about the other modules that we have already written, or you have already written, and definitely 80s theme, definitely fast-paced, definitely one-shot energy.
Yeah.
However, the energy of Blood Pit here, it's we have one-shot capability, but it's sprawling.
That's fine. It doesn't have to be a one-shot. Like, some people just maybe don't want a one-shot, you know? So, I think 3 is pretty generous in the back of a book. Like, some books don't have any. And then, let's see. Let me pull up my Cyberpunk Red book right here and see how many that came with, because this is, I'd say, the latest. I mean, I've bought books since this one, but I think this is the newest printed-wise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like any.
Interesting.
Don't quote me on that, because I don't want our Telesaurian games to come after me. And you're like, no, that does have one. You just are dumb. Shit. No, there is. Oh, looks like a couple. Okay, so running Cyberpunk. Looks like there is 2. Word Pirates looks like 1. Smash the Box looks like another one. The Big Break, oh my god. But they're like 2 pages apiece.
Interesting. So what I had written here was, this is going to sound like a lot, and it is. So we could discuss how we want to implement this. It's basically, we have like a city setting, right?
Yes.
And we have 10 mini bosses to choose from. 2 optional mini bosses. And ideally, what happens is the players pick who they want to fight generally, and they're gonna get to about 3 of the bosses and really fuck up the Blood Pit. Maybe they hit the mini boss, they get some good loot, and they get the fuck out. Right? Taking out the entirety of the Blood Pit is going to be something that's not necessarily possible, because it's a big place, man.
Yeah, well, the big thing is the fact that I cut a lot of the bullshit out. So, like, as Last Outpost on the Left starts, you're already, like, on the attack copter on your way to the wasteland. Like,
yeah.
There is no option. Like, you're here to play the game, so why not play the fucking adventure?
I kind of like that. The way I had written it was like, you kind of tunnel into Blood Pit one way or another, and your goal is to like find something that suits you, you're a player, and then steal it and get out.
Okay, so let's go So let's go goal, right? Let's figure out the goal.
Right. So, but I mean, like, I could always change this to, like, you know, like, depending on what the class of the player is, there can be, like, an appropriate mini-boss for them to fight.
Okay, so how many mini-bosses you got?
Well, I got 10.
So it's 1d10, fuck it. So 1d10 if they're feeling spicy, and then they'll get like a perk, right? So you give them an incentive to roll on it, or see, I don't know, because that's kind of dumb.
So what if? Well, hear me out. Since the blood pit is kind of like this gladiatorial, like, slave zone, you know, maybe the players are starting off as, like, prisoners rioting, doing a prison break, getting out.
Yeah, like Running Man.
Yeah, dude, like Running Man.
Yep, I like it.
And, you know, based on their classes, maybe they'll have, like, an individual mini-boss that they're going to want to target individually, and then loot, and then when they all escape the blood pit, they're going to have some pretty nice equipment.
Can we spell blood pit BL00DPITZ?
Can we change the I in pit to a 1?
Sure. So there's like 100 in the middle. B100DPITZ.
I like it.
Yeah, so... Yeah, I don't know. It's hard because then... So here's the thing. So then you would have to have 11 class-specific things. Plus, like, what if they play the super secret class in the back of the book? That would be 12, plus other classes that get added. Is my only concern. Is, like, I would try to make it as universal as possible, and that end of it, just for replayability of it too, because then it's like, well, fuck, like, my goddamn war wizard's, like, already done it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's just an idea.
That makes a lot of sense. I think narrowing it down to only a few would be pretty interesting.
Yeah, so hidden deep in the bowels of the blood pits lies the prize. Right?
Yeah.
So then 1d6. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then it could be a random prize.
Or maybe it's kind of like contoured, like maybe the Neon Lord himself kind of sees what the players are, what they want, in an item, and then the main thing about the blood pit was there are these biological implants or cybernetic implants that you could put in your body that take away a lot of your ability, you know, that hurt you, but they give you a really good strength. Like it's like the devil tempting you know. So like each implant was gonna it's gonna give you a weakness, but it's gonna give you 2 strengths. That's what each mini boss was kind of like. You're supposed to see their weakness, exploit it, beat them, but then you have the choice to take their power. Do you
rip their implants out?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Oh, I was saying you can rip their implants out and then have someone install them into you, because like cyber augmentations exist, but it's usually reserved for the they're called hyperlux, like more than deluxe. That's like the rich class of Detroit Prime. Yeah. They're called the hyperlux. It's actually from Judge Dredd, but no big deal. So they got cybernetics up the wazoo, but for every Joe Schmo on the street, they can't afford it.
Absolutely.
So that's an incentive too. Yeah.
Hear me out. Blood Pit's cybernetic augments, they're shittier. You know, like they're not as good. They hurt you in the back of your soul at the very least. So they're more affordable. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. Well, that's the best part. That's the incentive, is that they're cyber augmentations for the everyday man.
Yeah, think made in China.
Oof.
Yeah. Like, are you gonna trust it?
I don't know. So, like, yeah, but they need to be made for, like, some stupid-ass random war. That's, like, my favorite. like the scratch and sniff war. We got the cereal wars. I think we talked about that with the snap, crackle, and pop, and the tiger.
Yeah.
I think we brushed on it like right at the end of like episode 3. I was like, oh, and this and this and this and this. You're like, all right, yeah, shut the fuck up. We gotta go. And I'm like, we got all this stuff. That's one of our many tangents, surely.
No doubt. I wouldn't know. Like, I feel like there's definitely some military remnant here, you know? Like, who started the Blood Pit?
Exactly.
I feel like I kind of have him written as like a badass, like nearly immortal warlock. Maybe it's the main guy, you know? Maybe it's the cyber lich.
Oh,
but like one of his.
It's got to be a disciple.
Minions.
So,
yeah.
Okay. So to get in a little bit of lore that does exist, is 100 years ago in Terra time, the president was an adventurer, and he fought hand in hand with Terrarex the Techno Lich, and finally put him down in an epic struggle that lasted weeks. And so his epic fight won him presidency for life, and come to find out he's pretty much immortal from all his life-sustaining cybernetics that he has.
Yeah, I wonder if he is the Lich, low-key, but alright.
Interesting. So, like, he's kind of like a Voldemort, so he's, like, always, like, mentally there, and he could come back at some point, but he definitely has disciples still.
Oh, yeah, and the guy who's running the Blood Pit, like, he's a powerful sorcerer of some kind, and no doubt his end goal is to get enough bodies in the Blood Pit to eventually resurrect his master.
I like it. That's perfect. And then, like, a little side note, once the art finally comes for the president, he's got a sick power glove. It's, like, all clawed and shit. It's fucking awesome. I was like,
I love the power glove. It's so bad.
It's so bad. And then, I mean, the president, and he's got, like, a little bit of Arnold look to his face, and he's got, like, a big cigar and shit. He's, like, dope. I cannot wait for that art to come back. He, like, sent me a proof. He's like, hey, is this good? And I'm like, actually, yeah. And then I was like, I sent him, like, some pictures of Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke in, like, the post-credits scene for fucking Justice League, like, the shittiest movie. And I was like, do a little Deathstroke with a little Arnold. And then he was like, yep. And then we were like, okay, perfect. And he showed me, like, he's, like, standing at a podium with his, like, power glove, like, all up in, like, a metal claw. It was like, fuck yeah, dude. It's gonna be sick. So, yeah, that's the little tangent on the president.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Got some good NPCs in this game.
Yeah. So we do have Morgor, Master of the Slime Pits. He's another disciple of old numbnuts there.
Yeah, there's a lot of pits in this world, huh?
Yeah, of course. I mean, the slime pits sit on the spine of a fallen space god. The intestines have turned into vile green ooze over the decades and breed unspeakable gooey nightmares. And Morgor oversees the slime pits as the master to all that it breeds.
That's gross. I love it.
And there's the sleaze pits and the flatulent pits.
Oof.
It's the bog of eternal stench, if you will. From Labyrinth, if you're a Labyrinth fan.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. I will make you a prince. The Prince of Eternal Stench.
Not bad.
Yeah, and then, yeah. Oh, you know what we gotta have in there is the rodents of unusual size.
Of course. No doubt.
I'll put them in the flatulent pits, though.
Alrighty.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just going on a billion tangents.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
Oh, right. So, we're going for a more, like, quick-paced vibe, right?
I mean, generally, yeah.
what I had originally written was there to be like kind of like layers to each of the dungeon crawls, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
The overall goal is to essentially escape the blood pit, but you will be tempted to stay and rule it. You'll be tempted to loot and meander, because there's good prizes. But again, the ultimate goal is to leave.
All right, so go ahead.
So one thing I have written for each of the mini bosses who you do have to kill in order to escape, you kind of have like an option to scout out their terrain ahead of time. You have an option to sabotage them or their minions to make the dungeon crawl easier, but that does require like a mission that's dangerous. Yeah, and in doing so, you run the risk of encountering, scouts or the cops of the blood pit.
Ooh, what are they called?
What are the cops here called? Enforcers? Maybe I did like pigmen or something like that.
I mean, it works because the official Detroit Prime cops are called street enforcers.
Okay.
So we could do like a street enforcer blood pit variant.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I don't know, because that would imply.
It would imply what?
It would imply that Detroit Prime has something to do with the blood pits.
Oh, it doesn't?
I mean, I don't know. If it's ran by the sworn enemy of the humanoid sectors.
I imagine that there's some underworld factions in Detroit Prime that are funneling live bodies, into the blood pit in exchange for gold.
There definitely is. There's a bunch of different underhive gangs and shit going on. So I could see that. They're usually ran by the vermin folk, rat people, if you will.
Yeah, I like rat people.
I do too. I eventually have it in my notes to do a vermin folk adventurer. Would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
And a combat amphibian class would be awesome.
I dig it.
Run around as a battle toad. Super awesome.
Right. So the enforcers, we have a few levels of them around here in the blood pit. We got the basic, I might call them class traders, that are like former slaves of the blood pit. Mm-hmm. However, they were, they sell out their comrades. They are tasked with keeping them in line in exchange for better rations and, nice uniforms and stuff like that. And they're the kind of typical, like, human who's given a little power over somebody else and they enjoy it.
Yep.
There's a couple, like, bots, like robots.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a couple of these human turncoats that have been upgraded and augmented so far that they're like barely recognizable as living creatures, and they're more like automatons.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, and so that's like the 3 stages of enforcer that you could encounter. Anyways, so there's in order to take out one mini boss, you would have to either A, bum rush his fucking mini dungeon, take out his goons, find him, then take him out, and then, throw out the banners from the high windows and let everyone know it's done. Or B, maybe do a little sabotage, weaken his minions, weaken him, here we go. Here's there's the drug lord, right, of the blood pit. The guy who runs the drug factory producing all manner of illicit and mind-numbing substance. His workers are kept in a constant mind haze due to all the fumes. However, if you were to sabotage his domain, cut off the flow of these drugs, then his workers would be driven into a frenzy. Desperate for more, they would claw each other to bits, become hostile to everyone nearby, meaning at best you will encounter one. of these guys, these crazed men, per room.
Yeah, so they would have... Oh, go ahead.
Meanwhile, the mini-boss will be, like, locked, cowering inside his little temple with nobody around but himself.
Yeah, perfect. That is perfect. Because you give them the bloodlust condition, and they just attack. Anybody with a bloodlust condition attacks, like, the closest thing to him. It could be friend or foe.
Yeah.
So it's perfect.
But what I'm worried about is, will this ruin the pacing, right?
No. There's no set pacing. Like, usually we are pretty balls to the wall, fast paced, but this is still fast paced. It's just a little different. You could go. It's like a choose your own adventure.
Absolutely. Yeah. There's a lot of options here. I mean, I also have some options where if you want to work for the enforcers, I don't see why not. You know, like I have some plans for that if a player wants to do that. If you want to work with revolutionaries to overthrow everything, you can do that, sure. But if you just want to cut and run, like, that's the standard option. That's going to be the safest option, no doubt.
Yeah.
We have all sorts of factions popping up in the Blood Pit, and it's the player's choice.
So, how many factions you got? What are the factions?
So there's the revolutionaries. Of them, there's two factions. There's the main guys who just want to, like, topple everything and, you know, maybe salvage some working order out of it. Okay. There's this is a little secret faction among the revolutionaries where there's like the brother or comrade to the ultimate Lord of the Pit, the Artificer, Lord of Sorrow, e.g. the Supplicant of the Techno Lich. Okay, so
Jesus Christ. You're like deep down the rabbit hole. So you got two revolutionary factions.
Yeah, where there's one that just wants to replace the ruler with himself, and he will grant you great power.
What's the name of him?
I don't have a name yet, but I'm gonna call him Steve.
Okay, so I'll just put Steve down for now. And then the other one
is just kill everyone, free the entire Blood Pit, revolution now.
Kill everyone, free the pit. Alright, next one.
Then there's the kind of expected player faction of just cut and run. Take what you can, get out of here, don't linger too long lest you be trapped.
Okay. Next.
Then there is the Artificer, Lord of Sorrow, and his army of enforcers.
Okay.
And yeah, that's it for factions.
Okay, so you got 4.
Yeah.
Alright.
I think it's a fair amount, you know, that's enough to keep it interesting.
Yeah, so Faction 1, we can call it the Cult of Steve.
Yeah, he was like the buddy to the guy who's currently ruling the Blood Pit, but was betrayed, gasp for power.
What is the name of the guy who runs the Blood Pits?
I refer to him as Artificer, Lord of Sorrow.
Okay, so it is the Lord of Sorrow, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. I like it. So, Blood Pit's run by a follower of Terror Rex the Techno Lich named Artificer. Lord of the Sorrows. Sorrow, but... Alright, so... You're saying you could choose a faction?
Yeah.
Or you could just not.
Yeah, it's up to the players, you know. Joining any faction increases your chances of getting killed. This goes in reality as well, let's be real.
Yeah, this is true. So, the Cult of Steve, and then kill everyone to free the pit. Here, let me pull up something. I have a couple Google Docs. Let me pull up my Google Docs. I made like a quick pamphlet adventure the other night just for shits and giggles, and it's got some faction names that we could possibly kind of world build with. Just as an idea, not necessarily. It's called Slay Them All, and it's about infiltrating a Whammy Burger patty factory to either steal the secret recipe. So who or what has brought you to the slime ball factory? So you got clowning around Sammy's corporate. They want you to steal the patty recipe and kill everything you come in contact with. Detroit Prime Illegal Meat Police. There isn't many laws. Unknown meats added in clandestine factories is one of them, and the punishment's death. Meat police can't do it. They're the biggest shareholders of Whammy Burger, so they hire you, your loser hide, to get your hands dirty, bring back the recipe as proof the deed is done. Then you got Astro Investigation and Defense Services, possible exploitation of Xeno workers. Best just kill them all, just in case. So that's one of them. So we could possibly do something like that, maybe. But I got another one. Oh, go ahead.
I like the way that you're kind of starting it off. There's no hey, you're going to sit in a room with 3 dudes, interview them, they're going to tell you their perspective, why they think you should join them. No, it's just the player chooses ahead of time, I want this faction because I want to play this adventure.
Exactly.
That's a great call. I love it.
Yeah,
I'm going to incorporate that.
I don't like that. So I'll watch other games being played and stuff. Hold on, sorry. What was I saying? God damn it! You get a message.
You watch other games being played.
Yeah, and then you're 45 minutes in, an hour in, hour and a half in, and they're still trying to just get the adventure off the ground. So my biggest thing is get the ball rolling, start smashing some heads. Granted, probably a lot of people do like the role playing element of games, which is fine. I'm not huge into the role playing of it. I like doing stupid shit and fucking things up.
Fair enough. No, it's all good.
The best part is, what sweet, rich stuff can you expect from a job well done? Get it? That's a patty pun. A job well done. Yeah. This is my favorite thing. I haven't told anybody about this, and I know you'll appreciate this. So you can get, if you bring back the recipe intact, you can get your hands on a commemorative meat-flavored slasher with a bun handle, and the blade tastes like a flame-broiled patty. But name graving will cost extra.
Oh, for sure.
Or you could get the golden crown of the patty prince, heir to the burger throne.
There we go. There we go. I'll take the crown.
Yeah. You could get really fucked over and get the Whammy Burger promotional shades that are free with any sloppy combo slammer or whatever I named it in the. Hey, but don't eat the meat for the love of Randy. That shit's disgusting. So it's pretty much.
Wait, don't eat the meat. And quotation marks around the word meat.
Yeah, of course. So this is a short ass adventure. So you got level 1, the cutting room floor. There's a couple dudes. There's a meat wall. Then you go up the stairs to the patty factory, and then up after the patty factory is the corpo offices with the Nunya 4000 Explosivo safe. None of your business. Yeah. And you don't even know who's up there. So it could be a meat titan up there, a corporal, middle management guarding the safe, corporal regional manager trying to open the safe, or the CEO of Whammy Burger snorting sea monkey. You never know who's going to be up there.
You never know.
You never know. And they're all statted out. I don't know. In some fever dream that I statted out a corporal middle management, corporal regional manager, the CEO of Whammy Burger himself. They're all rocking flame broilers, though, for sure.
Nice.
Yeah,
oh, nice.
Sorry.
Yeah. Flame broiler. I dig it.
Yeah, flame broilers are like a specific... They're like a higher-end flamethrower that the Meat Titan
But it's like
carries.
grease.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so...
All right, I love it.
Alright, yeah, so we got like the clowning around Sammy's or like Whammy Burger itself, but I have other factions from a different one that I was trying to do. Let me see if I can even find this. Because like I like had this huge idea, and then Mooster kind of talked me off a ledge about it. Because like it was a great name too. It was oh yeah. Stomp Out Lard. So Lard is the Liberal Arts Revolutionary Division. It's a terrorist group that devised a coup against the president. It's up to you to take on our kill or be killed mission to quell the uprising and bring order back to Detroit Prime. So it's a solo mission, it's a solo gig, but the name of the group...
dude, I like solo gigs. Like, that's gonna be really popular in this game.
Well, I have the whole... Did you ever read the solo rules?
Yeah.
There's a whole, like, gig... There's a whole gig section.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. The more we add to that, like, I think the better off we're all gonna be. Because it's a great thing that I've only ever heard of one other game doing. But, like, let's double down on the solo rules stuff, man.
Yeah, I'm all about it because... one of my peoples, I've dubbed the fans of the game Neon Maniacs. Yeah, I'm sure you probably seen me write it everywhere. So, and that's gonna be a Pog. There's gonna be a Neon Maniacs Pog. By the way,
I like it.
Yeah. So I asked the Neon Maniacs on Instagram a while back what they wanted to see. And, like, literally the only person that replied said they wanted to see more solo gig stuff. So I'm like, you got it. 100%. 100%
Thanks,
on
this one's
that.
for you.
Yeah. For the one. Because, like, it's hard, man. Like, people won't... Like, it's really hard to get people to engage in anything.
Yeah.
It's like, I'll get a shit ton of likes on stuff, but I'm like, hey, what about this? And nobody responds. It's like, alright, well, fuck me, I guess. Like, I get it. But, like, come on, man.
My bad. I should have responded to that too. I didn't see it.
It's on. You follow me on Insta?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You
dude.
do. Yeah, you son of a bitch. I always see you finally liking something.
Yeah.
No, just fucking with you. Let me look.
No, it's okay.
Let me look and see here. But so like out of all that, literally 20-minute tangent. I feel like we should put the Liberal Arts Revolutionary Division as one of the factions you can join to, like, really bring Lard into the bigger stratosphere.
Okay. Yeah.
If you don't,
if
you don't mind.
I'm into it. Maybe that's the slave rebel uprising group here, and you know, we paint them in kind of a like a positive light. You know, and then maybe players are conflicted when they get to Detroit Prime, like, oh, wait, we worked with these guys, now should we work against them, you know? And it gives them that choice, you know, that moral ambiguity that I love, personally. Mm-hmm. You know? Yeah. I'm into it. You got a little three-dimensional personality for this faction going.
Yeah.
Alright. So I mentioned a little bit earlier how there's like the modifications, the body mods, cybernetic stuff that comes out of the blood pit, right? And I found some notes specifically pertaining to that I kind of want to read off because they're a little funny, I'm not gonna lie.
I like it.
So we have blood pit modifications are separated into a few categories. Category 1. Forsaken slave.
Ooh.
2 is regular slave. 3 is export quality. Then there's enforcer quality, aristocracy quality, and Artificer, Lord of Sorrow himself quality.
Okay, so real quick, put the one before Lord of Sorrow quality.
Aristocracy.
Yeah, switch Aristocracy to Hyperlux.
Okay, yeah.
Just because that's what it's named in the game. So it's like Hyper-Lux.
I love it. That's
perfect, thank you.
Alright.
Just to stay on brand, you know?
Yeah. So to explain what Forsaken Slave body mods might be, it's just awful. Like, super specifically awful. Like, the shit that melds drivers of trucks to their seats. The kind of crap that replaces all of your skin with Velcro so you can be rolled along a carpet collecting lint for all eternity.
What is that from?
I don't know, man.
Where they infuse drivers into seats. That's from something. I just was looking at.
It reminds me of, like, old Mad Magazine stuff.
Yeah, or like heavy metal.
Yeah. It's probably somewhere in there.
I was just looking at something, like some lore of something where they talk about, like, welding drivers. It was like specifically welding drivers into stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. It's really twisted.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
But like nobody. But hear me out. Here, maybe the players start out with some gear like that, right? They just start off with like this awful shit. Maybe they start off with some normal slave gear that's how do I describe it here? It's mostly suitable for a particular job, and the negatives are serious.
How
Stat
about
penalties?
Oh, go ahead. Listen, I'm sorry. I don't mean to keep cutting you off. I just got it.
Yeah, imagine it gives you a +2 in something, a -2 in something, one ability, and then one like negative ability.
Yeah, for sure. So here's the idea. So you have two different ways to start the adventure. You got the like easy way in, which is like, hey, we're from Detroit Prime. We're here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, right? Like your quintessential like A-team rolls up in a van, right? Like
100%.
Or we have two options to start the game. You got we're a party, we're an American band, right? Like we're here, blah blah blah, whatever. Like to be determined, obviously. And then you have hey, we're slaves. Like get us the fuck out of here. Like, you know, like two different ways to start the adventure.
Oh, hear me out.
I'm listening.
Hang on.
I'm all ears, baby.
If you're rolling up like the A team, you only get to pick one mini boss to fight. If you're a slave, like a normal slave, you get to pick 2 dungeons to run through and loot. This is a fair amount of loot because you're at the end of each dungeon you're getting Hyperlux loot. But if you choose to be a Forsaken slave, like the guy whose skin has replaced the Velcro and he's rolled along a carpet collecting lint, you know, some awful shit, then you get to choose 3 dungeons to loot.
Yeah, because you're already starting the game at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
it's a lot more work.
For who?
For the player, you know, it's like you have another dungeon to clear. Maybe your character's got a serious vendetta against one of the Hyperlux guys.
Actually, you know what's funny too? But go ahead, I'm listening.
You know, so it's also, you know, him coming out of the blood pit. You imagine he's just gonna be like the fucking like hardest, craziest motherfucker that's ever walked this earth.
Yeah. So that makes sense. So you have 3, right, for the Forsaken Slave?
Yeah.
So at the end of each one, you get those augmentations added. So like at the end of the day, if you survive, you'll have 3 augmentations and all your Hyperlux you can carry, all the cash and prizes. But it's it's like a harder road to travel. So that's 3 minis. And then what was the other slave?
Yeah, just the standard slave. Where it's like the standard slave is you have the same amount of bonuses as you have negatives in your already implanted gear, and you only get 2 dungeons to loot.
Okay, so let's just call them combat slaves right now.
Sure.
So, mid-tier, battle bros, I'll call them in my notes.
Yeah.
And they get 2 mini bosses. And then you got the A-team. I'll call it in my notes. I mean, I could just call it A-team. I like that.
A-team style adventure. Yeah.
A-team style. Then you got 1 boss. I like it.
So I kind of have this written where at no point do you attempt to take out Artificer Lord of Sorrow himself. You know, like
Yeah.
I have him written as like a very scary guy who's not exactly present in everyday life down here, so maybe he doesn't necessarily catch on to you as a player.
Okay, so he's so powerful, he's unstatted, right? Like there's no stats for him, so you can't even like, if they even wanted to fight him, I mean you're talking like 10 hit dice, like motherfucker punches like hard. He just looks at you and blows a hole through your chest type of badass.
And here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that if the players are down in the blood pit for a long time, so e.g. you start the game as a Forsaken slave, maybe right before you exit, he sends one of his synth skins to say, hey, you want a job as one of the Hyperlux guys? And it's just like an option. And the players say yes, then they take the job. If the players say no, then they have to fight some like badass enforcers.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean that's always it's an idea. I like that.
I don't know. I'm big on the just give them choices, doom them by their own hand sort of thing.
Oh, I'm all about it. So there's actually another game that I have. It's like it fits. There's like it's called Scum. The game is called Scum, and it takes place on Zardoz 12474 Interstellar Penitentiary Planet, where you are the entertainment, fight for your freedom in what's called the games, all while gaining the admiration of corporate sponsors and other rich space nobles. So essentially, you are this scum. You're naked as you start, you're bald, and you have your name, appearance, and starting weapon. That's all you get. And there's like, it goes off of the Maze Rats, like, rule set. So, essentially, you fight and then as you gain levels, each you get, so there is like, so there's the Global Arms Corporation, the Brotherhood of the Esoteric Order of the Flayed One, Sir Reginald Reinhold, Grand Master of the Space Colony LV-426, Neurotech Integrated Systems LLC, and then Grimlorks are all the like sponsors you can get. So essentially Globalist Arms Corporation is an arms manufacturer in the galaxy, and they use the games to do a little research and development field testing of their latest firearms and experimental armor.
Awesome.
So like as you level up, they give you like body armor and firearms and stuff. And so like the Brotherhood of the Esoteric Order of the Flayed One, which actually show up in Neon Lordz, using scum as human sacrifices in hopes they either die in battle or kill in the name of the Flayed One, and then they grant you like weird esoteric powers. I mean, I'm getting somewhere with this tangent, I swear. So Sir Reginald Rhineland, the Grand Master of the Space Colony LV-426, is a playboy of the stars, extremely wealthy. He uses affluence to shape the games in his whims, outfitting his scum with the best gear money can buy. Then you got Neurotech Integrated Systems LLC is the forefront of transhumanism. They use the games as a real-world test to run their neurosuits in hopes of one day uniting man and machine. And then Grimlocks is a retired games champion who wants to relive his glory days in the games. Rather than throwing money at the scum, he trains them using his knowledge and years of the games. So I was thinking, Yeah, so I was thinking of tossing, like, Sir Reginald Rhineland, the Grand Master of Space Colony LV-426, as, like, one of the guys in the blood pits, too.
Yeah.
So, like, he's got his... Go ahead.
There's a chance that the player's gonna kill him, you know?
That's fine. It's
okay.
It's just a throwback to this little scum, like, one-page game that, like, I have written in this, like, that I've never even, like, looked at. Other than, so, like, in the game ends, like, you get to level 5 and you can either stay as the champion of the prison planet, or you just go to the pleasure dome. It's always the pleasure planet on this one, sorry.
There we go.
Pleasure dome. Yeah, that's it. It's just a little game
That's fucking rad, man. And I'd be happy to incorporate, like, a lot of that into it. I was thinking if the players were to choose the Enforcer route, their time would be spent somewhere between gladiator fighting for better equipment and oppressing slaves with their new equipment, which could be hilarious in and of itself.
stomping them with boot stomping.
Oh yeah, they just like bully slaves with equipment. And it's like it's supposed to make you feel bad. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. That's on you.
Yeah, I'm all about it. Yeah, it actually, like, we can incorporate a lot of scum into it.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially the Enforcer route. But also, depending on the player's actions as the Enforcers, when inevitably the Revolutionary Front comes knocking, the players better have gone on a lot of gladiator fights to get better equipment. Otherwise, they're just gonna get swarmed and, like, shanked and, like, you know, fucked up, hella bad.
Against Lard.
Oh, I can't hear you.
Oh, against Lard? When Lard shows up?
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. They're one of the factions.
Hells yeah.
So it's like, it's not like, I mean, it's off the bat, it's supposed to sound like a really safe bet to go Enforcer, but then it's supposed to bite him in the ass.
Yeah.
But there's always a chance of walking out of there with some really good gear, even if they took the morally dubious route. So yeah, there's that. Let's see, what was there? The pit drugs. Oh, I had a little fun with this one. So you remember the one newer remake of Judge Dredd?
Yeah, slow-mo.
Slow-mo, yeah, it's slow-mo.
Yeah, we have. Weren't we talking about doing slow-mo?
I think we were talking about doing slow-mo.
Because I got it in my notes.
Okay, well, yeah. So, Han, we had, there's Jankum, Toilet Wine, Slow-mo. What?
You did this, or did we do this?
This is stuff that I added in my notes.
Okay, because I was like, fuck Janko. Jesus.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I think the, okay, so here we go. There's Jankum, Toilet Wine, Slow-mo. This is controlled by a mini-boss and is freely available, sold in most stores that have distribution deals. There are slow dens with some quality shit on tap. It is distributed at a weirdly cheap price. In truth, it is subsidized by Artificer, Lord of Sorrow, and he just wants slaves consuming it because it makes him too lazy to fight back.
Alright, so slow-mo is readily available everywhere.
Oh yeah, so like, if anyone can get it, you know, you can get a bunch of it for like dirt cheap, if not free.
So it's gonna, I gotta add it to the main drug list then.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It's fine. I just gotta, while we have it in the brain right now, I want to pull up the drug section, the main core rulebook drug section, and put it in there fast.
Right, alright.
Oh, where is it? Let's see. Oh, I think it's just Lordz. I'm gonna open the Neon Lordz section. Okay, so Fantasticals. Drugs. So far, I have combat enhancement drugs, smash, vitality sticks, black nightmare, sea monkey, and crack.
I'm glad crack has made it into this.
And it's CRAK.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and then slow-mo. You want to do SLOMO?
Yeah. What did it do? Or what should it do in the game, right? Did I write anything for it? Oh, okay, here we go. Here's what I wrote for slow-mo. You let me know if this sounds good.
Yep.
Gives you a head rush, lets you spend healing for temporary HP. Everything's in slow motion, so you gain advantage on your reflex checks or something like that. But afterwards you suffer a point of exhaustion. This can be mitigated with more slow-mo.
Alright, so...
yeah. You gain advantage on, combat rolls, if you're doing melee or shooting, as you have time to think properly and have a better chance to hit or dodge things.
Yeah, so it's just like a +2 to hit and +2 to hit, +3 to hit?
Sure, yeah, something like that.
Okay, alright, so here's what we'll do. Slow-mo. So how'd you have it started? Reread it from the
yeah, you tell me what you do and don't like. So first off, it gives you a head rush.
Alright, so hold on. So we'll write killer head rush.
Yeah. Everything is in slow motion. For let's say 6 seconds or 1 turn. Maybe 2 turns, depending on your quality.
Let's go 2 turns. 2 turns? Yep.
Granting you advantage on your combat rolls, including your ability to dodge shit.
Grants an additional +3 to hit and +3 to reflex save throws. Reflex saving throws. Yep.
However, once it wears off, you suffer a point of exhaustion. Now, I realize we don't have that mechanic in the game, but we could always do something like maybe it's until you rest, you have -5 in the relevant stats.
Sure.
Like dodge.
Okay. So at the end of the 2 turns, so am I saying for 2 turns grants an additional +3? Okay. So at the end of the 2 turns, what do I say? Fatigue kicks in. They're like at the end of 2 turns,
the hangover.
Yeah, at the end of 2 turns, the hangover
kicks in. You lose your bonuses and in fact have -5 to your rolls in combat.
Kicks in, giving -5 penalty to hit and -5 penalty to hit and to, we said reflex save throw?
Yeah.
Reflex save throws. Until your next long rest?
Until your next long rest, yeah. And hear me out, here's the caveat. Until your next long rest, or until you take another hit of slow-mo, in which case these negatives are erased. You gain your typical +3 as you did before, However, your hangover next time around is going to be worse to the tune of 1 point.
Well, I was going to just give it minus 10 penalty.
Oh, I have it like minus 6, and the next one minus 7. And if they hit minus 10, just kill them.
Yeah, that's true.
Like if they're going to be that much of a junkie, they have to die.
No, well, I would make them roll on the drug effects table, I think.
Oh.
And then,
yeah.
And see if maybe like, in addition to the slow-mo, then they gain. But I mean, the drug effects table, there's good stuff on there too. It's not just all bad stuff, people.
Yeah, absolutely.
You could
maybe every hangover you roll on the drug effects table as well.
I thought about that.
Because there's a lot of give and take, a lot of plus and minus here in the blood pit.
Let's just do it as this. I think this is plenty. Because then, so we got giving a minus 5 penalty to hit, and the reflex save throws until your next long rest. Period. And then I'll put in addition. Maybe not in addition. So it would be like another hit of slow-mo can erase. I don't know how I would word it. I'll just put
another hit of slow-mo gives you the same effect as the first time. You now have +3 on your rolls.
How about till the next long rest, period, not or. So period, and then I'll put another hit of slow-mo negates the hangover.
Yeah.
For another 2 turns, comma, but when it hits like a ton of bricks.
Absolutely.
Giving a ton of bricks, period. Giving a minus. You want to do 6 or 7?
Let's do
7.
Yeah, 7. That's pretty heavy, man.
Penalty to hit and to flex saving throws. Boom. Slow-mo is officially in the game.
Love it. And and for Jankum,
so Jankum,
hear me out.
Yeah. So I was thinking Jankum can be adventure specific. You know what I'm saying? Because like I like having like things. So slow-mo could be everywhere, but I think Jankum is a blood pit exclusive.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I think Jankum it should be like exclusive for War Wizards or something like that, where you know what it is. It's awful stuff. But maybe it gives you like an additional like use of a spell, right? It takes away 1d4 health, but you can cast any spell immediately.
Yeah, but it would kill every single War Wizard.
I'm sorry, what? Could you repeat that?
Oh, it would kill. No one would ever use it because a War Wizard starts with 1d4 hit points as it is. So if they're already I know.
Maybe it only drains 1 health.
Even then, I had a guy. So he had God's Tears, and he had to like mix it with a Vitality Stick, or else taking the God's Tears would have killed him. Because like God's Tears, it's like eye drops that give you infravision, but it deals 1 damage to you when you put them in because it burns like your retinas and shit.
Oh,
so
yeah,
he
yeah.
literally had to like mix it with a Vitality Stick, which tastes like bean and beef burritos, by the way.
Thank you.
Written in the book as tastes like bean and beef burritos.
I love it. That makes me very happy. But hear me out.
I'm listening.
Maybe you could vape the Jankum too. You know, just add it to your normal e-juice.
So okay, so you're saying you want Jenkum to allow a war wizard to cast an additional spell.
Yeah. And then also in the description it says, and maybe you could see through time, ?
So it's got to be a fantastical item at that point.
No, okay. How do we dumb it down? What do you do to dumb it down? How do we make this more accessible to a war wizard?
Jenkum could gain additional chaos points, maybe.
Oh, absolutely. You when you use Jenkum, you can trade health for chaos points, 1-1.
All right, 1-1 swap. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
That's hilarious.
That works. Because then it's bad, but it's not overly bad, and it's powerful, but it's not overly powerful.
And this could get a war wizard to every day at the crack of dawn, just crack open a bottle of Jenkum and huff it. It's too fucking funny, man.
Fits right in.
Ugh. And I dropped my mouse.
Okay.
All right. Well, I think this module is coming together. Pretty good at this point. We got our adventure pacing. We got items, rewards. We got the vibe. That's what I was really worried about.
Yeah.
Of course, now I got to work on the actual mini bosses themselves. But if we just cut it down to 3 and a secret one, depending on which faction you join.
So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 factions.
I think that if you join the revolutionary faction, you stay on your own faction, or you join the usurper faction. Then
that's the cult of Steve, is the usurper.
The cult of Steve, yeah. Then in those 3 cases, you're just going to be going toe to toe with the head of the enforcers and his guild of enforcers.
Alright.
And then if you were to join the enforcers, you would have to face off, let's just say, against the head of the revolutionaries down here in the pit.
Okay.
So the 3 mini bosses to choose from, or hyperlux to choose from, the drug lord one, the one who's in charge of creating the mechanical augmentations, and maybe shipping them. And what should the third one be? What do you think?
So you got drug lord. So okay, so drug lord, and what'd you say, augmentator?
Yeah.
I'm gonna put Ripper
maybe
Doc.
slave. And what?
I'm just gonna write Ripper Doc in there right now. That's from Cyberpunk.
Gotcha.
But I would know for myself. I'm just writing on my notes. This is for augmentations. Okay, and then so you got a drug lord, you got cybernetic augmentations, or cyber augs.
And then maybe the guy in charge of importing the slaves.
What you call him?
Yeah.
Taskmaster.
I like it. I think that might be trademarked. That's a Marvel guy.
No. I know it's a Marvel guy. I don't think it would be. Because there's a Taskmaster British game show. I don't think Taskmaster is so nondescript that if you named a superhero Taskmaster, you'd be in trouble.
Alright, well, I'll delete this so that we could claim ignorance if we get sued.
No, we won't.
Alright.
So, for other uses, see Taskmaster. So, you have a Taskmaster TV series, a Taskmaster American TV series. Okay, it's a whole fucking TV series. Literature, you got Taskmaster in the comic books. there is an American wrestler who was named the Taskmaster. There's a Taskmaster song by the grindcore band Pig Destroyer. Taskmaster's
tight.
Yeah. It's on Painter Dead Girls. I have that album actually. Taskmaster song by another Hillabaloo on Beat Until Stiff. I gotta listen to that song. I don't even know who Hillabaloo is. Hullabaloo. Beat Until Stiff is the second release and first full length album by Hullabaloo. Toxic Shock Records. So Hullabaloo.
Ew.
Yeah. Toxic Shock.
Yes, sir.
They're a punk grunge band from Cambridge, Mass. So Taskmaster, yes, it's very useful.
All right, okay. We'll figure it out.
I'm gonna put Taskmaster down for now as a placeholder. I like placeholders. And then as I'm thinking, as I'm like sitting around for the day, I think about it's like I'll see something, like I'm like, oh, that's the perfect name for this. And then I go back and replace the spot. So the fourth one will be, that's the Lord of Sorrow, right? Like that's his faction. So that could be a Lord of Sorrow underling. That's too easy on that one, right?
Wait, what?
No. So
you said
the fourth faction is the Lord of Sorrow faction.
Oh yeah, they're like the enforcers.
Yeah, so that's the enforcer. So that would be the main enforcer, right?
So
the enforcer boss, big boss, the enforcer big boss.
Oh, the big boss you're fighting as the enforcers?
No. So you said there's the 4 factions. You got the cult of Steve.
Yeah.
Lard.
Yeah.
The expected player faction. I don't know what that means.
Just the self-interested, let's get our shit and get out.
Okay, so that would be Taskmaster 1.
Yeah.
And then Artificer Lord of Sorrow faction.
Yeah.
So we got the drug.
So if you're working with the Artificer Lord of Sorrow, you're gonna be an enforcer. You'll be fighting one of the other factions. Well, you'll be fighting LARD.
Alright, so if you're fighting against the Lord of Sorrow, you will fight the Enforcer Big Boss.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
So, do you remember the character, the main character of that story I sent?
Yeah, vaguely.
201, the Biclops.
Yeah, so he's who you fight?
Yeah, he's the new enforcer head.
Okay. So 201, Biclops, Big Boss.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So, all right. Other than that, any questions so far?
No. Question mark? Ron Burgundy?
We gotta have enemies to fight. You know, like minions.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We could make new ones or use the ones out of the book. Which I think I could.
Oh, what were you saying?
Oh, I was saying like out of the book is fine, but I can whip up stats like nobody's business. Stats on monsters is the easiest part.
Okay, let's do stats on monsters. So we have, let's just say, all right. What I got written out here is like a couple monster ideas, and then their difficulty followed by their role in combat.
Okay.
Like, say, the mutant hounds of the enforcers. They're low difficulty, medium in size. They function more as a support role, ideally sniffing out, hiding slaves or players.
Mutant dogs.
Yeah. And if you take these mutant dogs out of the equation, then evading the enforcers becomes a possibility.
Okay, so mutant dogs good at smelling stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, the enforcers, there's a fair amount of them. They're medium difficulty. They prioritize non-lethal attacks, at least against slaves. However, when ordered by a superior, they'll go ahead and do lethal.
Yeah, let me see something real quick. Pull up the old. Oh my god, where is it? Where is it? Stuff too slow. Stuff too slow. Okay, it's thirsty. It's thirsty again. Stuff that's like that. That's right. Okay, let me look at the stats for the street enforcers. They are. Oh, wow. They're equipped with Filthy Heralds. Custom Filthy Herald. 6-shooters, essentially. Like a Dirty Harry.
Yeah.
Oh, I just call them Filthy
One
Heralds.
thing I noticed in the Blood Pit is there's not a lot of projectile weapons.
Okay, I mean, that's fine. That makes sense. So they would just have like a spiked club or like a barbed wire club or something, right?
Oh yeah, definitely something like gross like that.
Because I know, at first I had the street enforcers equipped with
Electro-mace.
Electro mace. Yeah, I like it. What do we call it? Blood enforcers equipped with electro maces. Got it. Love it.
Ooh, maybe they also have like rubber boots, so that hitting them with the electro mace doesn't do nearly as much.
Hitting the blood enforcers with their own weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they gotta have rubber boots because of all the blood in the blood pits.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's all the slaves have basically red stained legs up to the knee or so.
Yeah, and they're just in loincloths.
Oh yeah.
So would you ever fight a combat slave then? That would be, they need stats to fight, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. If you're an enforcer, then you're for sure fighting combat slaves.
Right.
I think occasionally, especially Taskmaster, right? He's gonna have some loyal combat slaves.
Right. So so now you got tiers. So you got a combat slave loincloth variant.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to step up from there. You got combat slave assistant to the regional manager.
There we go. And they're the ones they have like a collar, that denotes their position. That's how you know that they're doing good in life.
Yeah,
because they have a collar.
So they're just middle management though. So then you got combat slave manager. No, yeah, okay. Fuck. Okay, so we have 4 different combat slaves. This is my problem. I compound everything. So you got the combat slave manager, and then you have combat slave champions.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have
Hear me out. The basic one who maybe he's on your side, maybe he's not. He's probably on your side. At best he's got a toothbrush shank, right?
Yeah.
Then there's the middle manager who they're denoted by their collars that indicate their rank. Their weapons are typically whips with barbed wires on them, just evil shit like that.
Yeah, like a cat o' nine tails.
Oh yeah, it's not lethal, but it's painful.
So, yeah, I got chain whips in the. So it'd be just like a chain whip variant, because chain whips are in the weapons section.
Yeah. I think a lot of the stuff you'll find in the Blood Pit is like it's a variant of what's on the surface. It's usually shittier in one way, but like meaner in a different way.
All right, so let's go. Actually, in my notes, in my giant list of notes, I do have laser whips, so they could carry laser whips.
That might be too advanced for these guys.
Damn it! I wanted to put my laser whips in somewhere.
You know what? I think the taskmaster of all the slaves.
Yeah, he
for sure has 2 laser whips.
Ooh, okay. He's like Xerxes.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go chain whip. I'll just write chain whip for now. I get it though. I'll put something.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
And then slave manager, combat slave manager. He's got his rank on his collar too.
Yeah. What?
I mean, he could just be equipped with. What?
Maybe he's just got like a shotgun, man. Like.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. With stubby.
Like a shitty double barrel.
Let's give him a stubby, old stubby.
Hell yeah.
Or okay, so here's another option. Which let me pull up my guns. So the guns listed, we got 12. I only put 12 guns in the main book because you can get insane, right? So you got the blaster rifle, the Death Viper, Filthy Herald, a heavy flamer, a light flamer, a laser pistol, a Mac Daddy, a Mega Blaster, Old Stubby, a plasma flintlock pistol, a plasma pistol, an OG shotgun, and a sleazy blaster.
Hang on. Speaking of Mac Daddy, I'm not sure if you follow it, but there's in the community of people who 3D print guns. Somebody took a Mac 10 parts kit that was just like the bolt and the barrel and stuff like that, and then 3D printed a chassis for it and called it the Mac Daddy, and looks badass.
That's hilarious because the Mac Daddy in here is like a Mac 10.
Yeah. Oh, I got it. I got it immediately.
Okay, yeah, so that's what I was thinking. We can either give him an old stubby or a Mac Daddy.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's one of each. Ooh, okay, maybe one variant of the manager has the Mac, and the other one has a stubby and some brass knuckles.
Okay. So, here's a rule variant that I haven't really brought up. So, it's called the Hollywood Ammo Rule. So, the rule of cool in full effect. Guns in Hollywood never run out of bullets, so why should they in Neo Terror XX? Every gun is assumed to have ample ammo. The round capacity used to track when an action to reload is necessary. That's it. Like, there's no ammo tracking in the game whatsoever.
Thank God.
Yeah, because they would be stupid, right? It's like, well, I got 60 rounds. It's like you also, like, for instance, a Mac Daddy has a round capacity of 30. So, and it's 1d6 times 3 recoil. So, every time you spit 3 rounds, so you have 10 rounds of firing before you have to spend an action to reload. That's it.
I love it.
Yeah, so, like, that's it. There's no counting how many rounds you have. But a Death Viper is 1d6 times 6 recoil.
Wait. The final category of slave, I think, should be or there should be two more, right?
Yep.
There's the junkies over in the drug lord's manor, so to speak.
Okay, so that's easy. That's just
They have syringes.
Okay, hold on. We might actually. Let me look at my list here. We might actually have one. No. Or you just call them junkies?
Yeah, they have syringes, claws on their hands, and they're perpetually under the effect of slow-mo.
Okay.
So, like, they're dangerous.
Like it. So you said junkies?
Yeah.
Needle claws. Slow. Got it. Their attack should make you like give you slow mo. If they they hit you with a claw, you have to roll on grit save
the drug
throw.
effects chart.
Yeah, you could do that too. Drug effects chart like generally isn't like bad though. So I don't know, cause slow mo's like hitting them with slow mo could fuck them in the long run, you know, because if they don't have slow mo, then they they hit that long lull of not being able to, and it's gonna automatically, because every time you take a drug you get 1 sleaze point.
Oh man.
So you're already screwing them, especially if they're holy smiters. That's just 1 more sleaze point away from losing their god.
This is gonna be a pretty heavy mini boss dungeon, but hey man, if they get it, then they get it. And one more for the other mini boss who's in charge of like manufacturing, right? His slaves are all the basic slave, you know, just a loincloth and a shank, but they're all heavy equipment operators, so they know how to use terrain to fuck with you.
Or they have like, or you could, yeah, and like they could be like super jacked, like muscular, like slaves. They have like jackhammers, and they just like can like hit you with like get you on the ground and just jackhammer your face off.
Imagine they have like blacksmith tools.
Okay, I like that better. That's probably easier. Okay, so construction worker,
manufacturing
slaves.
plant, but
okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did say manufacture. And
it's
I
all good.
Automatically went to like manufacture slaves.
I think this is pretty much all the dudes who need to be statted. I mean, obviously the Hyperlux guys need to get statted, but we can do that in like later.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, we gotta like name them and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Give them like their special abilities. So that's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stats and 8 extra to the max charge. No big deal.
All right.
Because that's even easier, because a combat slave in a loincloth, I'm not even gonna give them. So they're to the max, because like I don't know if you remember the monsters have their own individual to the max chart, but it's 1 to 19 and then 20. So it's like they have 2 options. It's not like anything crazy.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
So a combat slave in a loincloth, I would actually give them like they would fumble on the to the max. Like, so they hit a 1 and a 20, then they get fucked up. I mean, they're just a dude in a loincloth.
That's funny.
Yeah, so they like end up killing themselves on a 20-20.
All right. Well, I think this is pretty good for a brainstorm
session. Sesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only been an hour and a half. No big deal.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how we feel about posting this one.
I'm all for it. Just full send, brother.
Okay. There's a lot of spoilers in it, so I'll probably double back and give everyone a spoiler warning.
Yeah, just spoiler alert. Dumbledore dies in the end.
Yeah. And then about here, I'll read out the original. No, you know what? I'll just link the original story.
Well, you gotta remember too that it's just a brainstorm session for one. That like everything could realistically change. We could like regroup tomorrow and be like, you know what? Let's do that. Let's change this off air, and no one will know none the wiser. So realistically, there is no spoilers. I would say until like the 5th brainstorming session, when it all like is like getting like mapped out and everything. Like once there's like an actual map and we're numbering and naming rooms, then that's spoilers for sure, because then it's starting to get more concrete. But it's like fluid right now.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just buyer beware. You're in for a scare, Goosebumps style.
Alrighty, well, I think I'm gonna call it here. I gotta walk my dog. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Dude, good talk.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Always a good talk.
Alright, well, peace, bro.
Alright, later.